So, can Pixar recover from the few years that it has had struggles with when it comes to its movies? Let's talk about that. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Movie Emporium's movie review of Elio, the newest Pixar film directed by Adrian Molina, Madeline, Sharafian, and of course, Domee. Okay, so Elio is about a young boy named Elio who is has recently lost his parents, like most Pixar movies do. He's raised by his aunt, who's in the military, and in the process of everything, he basically wants to be abducted by aliens because he feels like he doesn't belong on this world and feels like he can go off and do something really truly special. Well, he's picked on because of the type of kid he is. He's rebellious, and he ends up basically getting his wish when a group of aliens discover the Voyager satellite system and basically bring him into his world. Of course, this movie has to have a bad guy, so we have a kind of bad guy voiced by Garrett, and he basically finds himself in this world that wants to make him part of this constellation, and it's basically, as most movies do, a story about loss, and a story about acceptance, and a story about a kid who just wants to find his place in the world. And so this is what this movie does and what it is trying to say and stuff like that. But it's also a Pixar movie, so it's a movie about a kid with creatures that are very goofy like and kid like, and there's a character named Glordon who is this creature that kind of he befriends, and it basically becomes an adventure with the young kid and aliens and stuff like that. So I have to say this out right now. This movie looked terrible from the trailers. This is the first time I've ever not been excited for a Pixar movie. It's very rare, to be fairly honest, because I love Pixar. It's like my DNA when it comes to what I love about movies. It has created some of my favorite movies of all time. Toy Story I still think is the best Pixar movie of all time. And it's a studio that is known for doing very heavy, mature themes, but also making it very fantastical, very wonderful, very authentic when it comes to creating what they do. So when I saw the trailers, I was very crestfallen because I'm like, with stuff like Lightyear and what do you think of Elemental and stuff like that, it's been a very difficult kind of few years for Pixar. So with that said, this movie garnered a lot of praise and it garnered a lot of great reviews. So I'm like, is this going to be something I truly like? Is it going to take me aback by how special it is? And so for my honest review, absolutely, this movie is incredible. It's my favorite movie so far this year. This movie is special on so many levels. Once again, Pixar's authenticism. It's a creative movie. It's very funny. It's energetic. It is a movie that really is, to me personally, what makes Pixar so great as a studio, which is telling stories about people and plights and ideas and just how difficult the world is and how being accepted is very difficult, and we are struggling against a society that just kind of doesn't want us to be different. And that's what Elio is he's different, he's unique, he is a creative soul, he's a character that just wants something in this world to be part of him, and he doesn't feel like his aunt, who's played by Zoe Saldaña, really feels like that. But the character of Elio, who's voiced by Yonas Kibreab, is just wonderful. Like, it really is an authentic feeling person, authentic feeling character that really shines through in the voice work of this individual. And then on top of that, you have like Garrett, and you have Jameela Jamil, and you have young Dylan and Jake Getman and Brendan Moon. These are individuals who just breathe life into what Pixar is capable of doing, which is telling a very human story. And so far, this movie just is aces on all fronts. It's a movie that took me completely by surprise, left tears in my eyes, and really tells a story about humans and what humans need in a life that we live. But on top of that, it allows the Pixar wonder, it allows the Pixar humor, because once again, this is a very funny movie. It does some very, very funny stuff, but it also does it with heart. Once again, Remy Edgerly, who plays Glordon, plays this young creature who's very simple but very loving, is very friendly, but also wants something out of the creature or the alien's life. And then with Elio and his eye, when he gets in a fight and how he has it patched up, there is a symbiotic nature between the two characters that I felt just it leaks into your soul of like how exciting it is. And why these movies work for me periods because I felt this way before. I felt like an individual who feels like it has, has nothing, it has lost its way and feels anchored on something that it just doesn't truly believe in. So what Elio is capable of doing and what it's beautifully putting out there is the nature of like, where do we find acceptance? Do we find differences that we can work with and, appeal to? That's what we love between one another because we're so different. But it's also finding characters and finding something out there that we can be accepted by, that even though we're completely different, we'll find a way to work it out. And on top of that, the animations are always beautiful. I can't really keep talking about that, but the animation in this movie is incredible. The hair physics are incredible. The look of this movie is incredible, and it just completely works on all levels. And it's a movie that I found myself falling in love with each minute it goes by. It does take a few minutes to get going, but I think once it does, once it hits its crescendo, especially in the end, Brad Garrett plays Lord Grigon, which is the main, I guess you could call it quote unquote villain, who has like some really truly cool dimensional aspects to him. And like as the story moves along, you start to feel why this character acts the way it does, and it's a very, very interesting, very cool, very fun aesthetic, and I think Brad Garrett does a really nice job. So if you're curious about this movie, if you don't think it's gonna be very good, go in, try it out. I think you'd be pleasantly surprised at what Pixar has created here with the 3 directors, the writers, the crew, the cast, all those people, because they definitely deserve a win, because Pixar is one of the biggest pantheons, like Marvel and like stuff like that, of studios that has earned themselves at least one win every once in a while at this point. So Elio, one of the best films I've seen this year, one of the top tier Pixar movies I've seen in quite a while, and highly recommended for anyone who loves a good authentic storytelling type of film. So there you go. Anyways, with that said, that's gonna be my take on Elio, which is now in theaters or will be in theaters very soon. Thank you so much for watching. Comments below, tell me what you think of this movie, tell me if you liked it, didn't like it, all that good stuff. Otherwise, if you like what you see on this channel, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium, hit that notification bell at the top to find out what's coming next. If you like this video, awesome, hit that like button, and as always, we'll see you guys in the next review. Peace out, guys.